Moving on to buttons. Buttons are actually under this main topic, but to me, buttons should be their own item under these conventions, because you find out that most people really take these buttons for granted. I actually copied this from the material UI, sort of like guideline, but it shows you that you can have a variety of buttons, but these buttons shouldn't vary away from each other. They should look similar, but have different states and look differently in different scenarios to serve different purposes. Getting back to the design principles, so that is it. You should make sure that you do have this seamless way of doing things. That actually also brings us to color. Color is also really crucial, because you find out that Google actually does this. It has got 4 colors that it uses across all of its products. Take you through these products. For example, Gmail uses the same colors, Google Drive the same colors, chooses Google Docs the same colors, Google Drive, Slides the same colors, the same design system, like Google Calendar the same thing, Google Chat the same thing, Google Forms the same thing, the Maps the same thing, Travel the same thing. Yeah, that's it. The other products, but at the core, it's the same thing. These guys are just making business, but at the core, they've built everything to support them as an organization. And anyone can do this. I'm not just giving these examples because I just want you guys to take like the best example out there. But it's a point of reflection and learning and getting to understand what we can do better by drawing inspiration from a variety of websites. Now, lastly, I want us to use the last 10 minutes to discuss. I'm going to take you through this right here. Now, of course, you can actually learn these 7 conventions right here. But if you learn these 7 conventions without learning these 2 things, without really understanding what these 2 things are, then you will not actually get those 7 conventions quite well, because at the core of those 7 conventions, these organizations I have showed you are just respecting and using the elements and principles of design in a creative way to come up with all these products that they have. So at the core of design, this is something that is really crucial. You can do a lot with these 2 things. For me, if someone asks me how can I get into design, how can I start designing, how can I start appreciating design, just go and learn the commandments of design. 2 things, the elements and the principles, because at the core of everything right here on this nice website of Pinterest, at the core, it's just the elements, which are these forms. All of these nice looking animals. These are forms that have been aligned properly. Alignment it's a principle of design that have been balanced properly. There's rhythm, there's contrast, and all of these things are working harmoniously. There's no way how you can design without truly appreciating these principles. And the elements are quite simple. There's line, color, text size, space, shape, value. You have to play around with these in order to come up with a UI. Now, this is actually something very good. Yes, this is where user interface design, this is where its heart is. Yes, this is where its heart is. That's where its heart is. And if at all you don't understand these forms of the forms that make up design, you will not truly create intuitive, nice looking designs, because it's about playing with these properties that make up design. Now, after understanding the elements, you can't just understand the elements because you will just design nice things that don't have any reasoning behind them. Principles come in. The principles, it's the reasoning. Why are you repeating these forms? Why are they like that? Why are they in that way? Why are they this color? Why this color? Why that form? Why this big image? Why the buttons? Why the forms? Why did you put this first? The questions that run in your mind while designing, those are the principles. They guide the elements. Yes. With those two, you can embark on the conversions and start adding sprinkles of aesthetics onto your design. At the core, that is how we come about with discoverability. For people to discover your things, you have to respect the elements and principles of design together with the conventions of what you're building for. If you're building for the web, I've taken you through these 7 conventions. Maybe, and these 7 conventions can actually also work for graphic design actually. So you have to understand the core, then add on to the conventions, then the aesthetics, sprinkles, the nice things. Then you come up with very good designs. Yes, we can use this remaining time to ask questions and discuss and add on to these points that are presented. But that is it. Though this discussion can continue because these points, there's a lot that we can always talk about. But as for now, let's I can welcome questions, add-ons, subtractions, where I lied. Yeah, we can start. You can actually do anything to them, break them, do anything you want. That's right. Yeah, that's right. To me, I think design has to be first of all usable. Then we can add the sprinkles. The sprinkles, that's the honey. It's the very least things that will really add anything to the design. But as long as we bring out the core value of what we want to present to these users, then we can add on to other things. Because just like I've taken you through, there is nothing really good about Google Forms. What is good about this thing? Nothing. But these guys they are organized. It's about bringing this mentality of, we are only giving you what you want because we truly understand what you want, and it's bringing that value out first, then adding the sprinkles that will really help us to become better individuals. So that is it. And yes, Ignatius, I think these right here, these right here can be bent. You can do anything to them, because I have seen sites that have really broken the rules, and they have really come up with really interesting work. For example, Pinterest is also actually a very good example of it. I gave you something right here. This food recipe thing. Are you seeing this grid? It's broken, but you can't realize that because it's broken creatively. So we do have to break the rules in a creative way and make sure that we still provide value. Because if at all you do not understand the rules, then it will be hard for you to break them. That is why people are able to to sing, because they know what they are singing about. So they know that once they break these rules, they will get this. So that is how they are able to bend the rules. So learn the rules, then you can bend them. So that is the main point here, and it's my main gospel is let's learn. And once you learn these, and always reflect on them, because for example, these principles, you cannot learn everything in these principles. Because some people say that they're 8, some say that they're 9, but they can be any number as long as you respect them and as long as they are always at the back of your mind. Yes, I realized, Juanita wasn't on. Juanita, we are welcoming, any suggestions, questions, add-ons, and subtractions. Yeah, that is it. That's right. Maybe to answer that like real quick. Uh, okay, let me just give a very simple example. We have hypermarkets, hypermarket or hyper supermarkets. These are really huge supermarkets. For example, we have a supermarket here, what it's called, over Sanana. Yeah, I think Sanana. Sanana is a hypermarket. It's huge, but once you're at the entrance, I think that's where they sell like bread, what like confectionery. You find out that the signs of confectionery or bakery are the same size as the signs on the last floor of that building where the furniture is. The signs or the sizes of the signs are the same. They are not, maybe if I told someone has just entered, we make it big. Then as they are entering other levels, we make the signs small. Why? Why would we do that? Because we think these users would have learned what they are going through, which is wrong. We users do not think specifically at specific moments once it comes to the way we use things. Because usability is a very sensitive topic, and once you start bringing it up in engineering teams and product teams, it's very sensitive because it starts, putting torches, or maybe highlighting certain issues that a product has that might even hurt it at its core. Yes, that's the reality. And once you start bringing up such conversations, it really gets disgusting, and all they'll tell you is we want an MVP. But yes, that's a discussion for another day. But the thing is, we do have to understand it that these users require the same sizes of everything, wherever they are. Because I'm giving you that example. If I told the sign for maybe the furniture on the last floor of Senana hypermarket was very small, tiny, would you see it? Or would you be like, oh, I think I've seen a very huge sign at the entrance. Let me carry on that perspective. Maybe at the top, maybe it's small. You won't know because you expect a sign to be the same. It's a sign. A sign is a sign. When you're entering a new city, at the entrance of a city, the signpost says, or maybe the letters of those signs. Actually, here's a very good example. Another example. The signs of the road, they are the same. Whether you're entering the city, whether you're entering a village, whether you're entering where, they are the same. Now, as we're navigating websites, it's the same thing. We are living the same lives. Don't think when someone goes to the website, their life changes. Or maybe they wear maybe a magical suit that I have to now figure out things in a specific way. No, it's the same thing. We do have to give these people the same experience. Because Facebook actually does this very well. Because you find out that on Facebook, it's the pages are the same. You will get the same sizes of like the font size. Everything will be clear because you need all of that. And other websites have actually done it in the same way. Let me actually pull out LinkedIn because it does have quite huge sort of like pages and links and all of that. Okay, it can give us a very good overview of one of the most used sort of like links that people use or websites. So as you can see, LinkedIn actually does it quite well. When you're at the home, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. When you go into jobs, it's the same thing. You will see the same font size. It's the same thing. You won't get lost. Not notifications. It's the same thing. You won't get lost. So ideally, we do have to make sure that these users are getting the same experience whatsoever. Google does the same thing. Even if you are maybe at the entrance, or maybe when you've like navigated like all throughout the website, it will be the same thing. So I think on that issue of which content should we prioritize, which one shouldn't we, every content is a priority, and the only thing we have to do is to organize it in a systematical, logical way that people can access it, but everything is the same. So people always have these conversions and memories and things I've experienced that they expect to see You break, they get affected. And usability and user experience design is still a very young field, and most teams and products are actually underlooking it. But users get hurt. Even if you force a product onto them and you use this product by force, they will still repel it. So that is a thing that we should actually look out for. We should make sure that this content is equally the same, and we should treat it importantly. We should only deal with the way it's organized. I'm seeing, Rita is commenting. She's saying, I didn't hear what Rita said. Waiting for me to open what? Yes, no, Rita, we were like, we finished the main sort of like discussion right here, and we were just discussing through these different points and giving our ideas and opinions, add-ons, subtractions. So you're welcome to, the mic is yours. Yes. Definitely. Yeah, that's right. You get to reason with someone while, having something that backs you up. Because we designers, we are people that other colleagues that we work with sometimes think that our work is just all about tweaking things here and there, which is entirely wrong. Design is a science. To me, that it's a science, because if it weren't, then design wouldn't be able to solve problems. So to me, I think if at all you're able to take someone through these conversions and tell him that no, this will be there because of ABCD, and it will help us do ABCD, then they will understand, because they will reflect onto that as humans, and they will get the meaning behind your explanation. So yeah, that is right. Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's right. I don't know if there are other comments, add-ons, because I know we are past time. I believe we should end like at 4 p.m. So I don't know if there are other add-ons. No. Yes, they're welcome. Yes. Okay, guys. Judy is still on this point, but yes. I've seen her comment, and I think let me first read it out loudly before we can leave. I'm really looking forward to that discussion on whether all content should be treated the same. My answer is not all content is the same, or should be treated the same way. But I'll wait for it. Yes. I've given you an example of a supermarket. That should actually be a very clear example. I've given an example of road signs. If most of them were useless, then most of them would be smaller, or maybe most of them would be placed where we don't see them because they are not that important. But as designers, my last message is let's get to appreciate what usability is. Because in our environment, our daily lives, this is what is happening. And you don't think the forces on the web are going to be very different. Or when you're on the web, things happen magically. Or maybe when you're creating a poster, things happen magically. No, it's the same. There are laws that have to be followed, and people know. People notice, and people always expect certain things. So let's figure out what people are expecting, what people will think, what they'll feel, and what they expect to see, which is really important, because that is when we get to solve their problem. What do they expect? That is the most important question once it comes to understanding users. So yes, to me, users are really important, because without them, then we wouldn't be designing. We designers survive because we have to design for users. Users are what we depend on. Yes, there are these other team members, these other forces from the marketing team and the stakeholders and all of this. We do have to understand those forces do exist, but we do have to be able to be in position to guard the design gateway. Yes, that's my last message. And I hope these discussions actually continue, because I'm an individual who is really interested in such discussions. and I'm looking forward to our next presenter. I think we shall elect that one as we conclude. But that's it for me. I hope this has been really important and crucial. I've shared the file. You can always come and look through it and get to know what am I missing and what should I do next. So that is it for me.